with day 1 and day 2 of my December daily. Finally, I'm actually doing some pictures from December. It was a little while, but I made it there. So today I'm doing a 2-page spread. Like I said, I'm doing day 1 and day 2 just because I have it pretty much laid out and I wanted to get 2 done at one time just to make sure I don't get too far behind with my process. So this is kind of what I'm thinking about. Either I'm going to be moving some things around just a bit, but this is kind of my general idea of this particular layout. So what I basically did for this particular card was, this one said like cheerful memory or wonderful memory or something like that. And it was from the back of that Christmas tree paper, that tree paper that I used on my previous layout. So since I had already trimmed it down, I really like this red color and I like how it ties in with the red cup and this other side of this particular page. So I'm going to keep this, but of course it's an upside down phrase. So I'm going to cover this up, and I have one of these tags from the Snow and Cocoa kit, or not kit, but the collection from Crate Paper. So I'm going to use that as a layering piece, and I'm going to strategically place this one so you can't really see the word that was under there. And I think that works perfectly. And I don't really like the color of this one. I don't really like the color of these chipboard elements in general. They may work with some of the pages, but when I have this other red on the page, I don't know, it doesn't look quite right to me. So what I'm going to actually end up doing is taking my Zing white embossing powder, and I'm going to emboss the one. I also have this Y card here, and I wanted to have a little kind of statement or story about our elf, Izzy. She is the elf that has been with us for, I guess we're going on our 4th year of her visiting. So I ended up printing out the little bit of a story, or why I love the fact that we have Izzy coming to visit with us. I printed that out on vellum, and I'm going to actually adhere to this card. I was thinking about typing on it with my typewriter, but I end up figuring that typing it on the computer is a bit easier, and I didn't have to worry about making a mistake, although you can see it made a mistake here anyway. It was bleeding a little bit, and it still did that on this side, but I'm just going to go with it. So anyway, but this looks really good. I really like this font. It is, I think it's called Veterans Typewriter, and I've used it on some other pages as well. So I really like this one, and it looks just like my hand typewriter. So this was the way to go for me. I just like how this looks, and I was able to center it and all that OCD stuff that I feel like I need to do sometimes. So I'm going to be using this and cutting it out and sticking it on the bottom here. I'm not sure if I'm going to keep the lines or not, or if I'm going to end up covering it with some white cardstock or another pattern paper. So we'll kind of see how it looks once I cut it all out. And then on this page, this is a picture. I'm going to flip this over so you can see that. This is a card that came together actually, and it says eat, drink, and be merry. And we went to a restaurant, and I just got a picture of our table and some of our flavored lemonades, which were, I thought, delicious. My coworker wasn't as impressed with hers, but I had a raspberry lemonade. It was delicious. So I really like this card. It was perfect. I don't take a lot of pictures of food necessarily, so I thought I might as well use this card while I have the opportunity to. And it was already part of this cut apart sheet that said the Who here. And I thought, well, that was perfect. I can just cover up the lines, and then I may add some kind of journaling or something. Maybe I will make this a little flip picture or something, and put some of my journaling about the day. I'm not quite sure on this one either. Or I may just take my typewriter, my hand typewriter this time, and then type in the journaling. Not quite sure yet. So I'll kind of figure that out as I go along. And then this is a picture of my daughter and her Girl Scout troop, and I covered up the faces because there's other kids in the photo that I'm not sure if they want their parents, or their parents want me sharing them. So that's why you see the sticky notes. But I'm going to use one of these badges. It came in the a little sheet of badges from Michaels. It does have the pin back on it, as you can see here, but I am going to end up just cutting that part off and then just popping it up with some foam tape. And I'm going to use that as my number 2. I may do a little bit more embellishing on this after I get some of this main pieces down, but that's kind of where my starting point is. So I will be right back after I emboss this and get some of this stuff stuck down.
Hi guys, I decided to come back to you on a voiceover. The video was just way too long and I didn't think you wanted to be hanging out with me for like over 30 minutes. So I thought I would just do a voiceover for this part. I'm hoping to have the videos a bit shorter, but with doing 2 days, I guess, and I am like to talk apparently, the video was quite a bit longer than my previous one. So A voiceover it is. So basically, I am just doing essentially what I said earlier when I was talking on camera, and I am just starting to make the cards. What I'm doing for this one is I've already embossed the one with the white embossing powder, and I've glued everything down, added some black and white twine to the tag because it matches, and I just have to have a tag with twine on it or some kind of string. I am fussy cutting that little jar with the little trees in it from the Snow and Cocoa line. I thought that was perfect as a layering piece behind that number one, and I really like how that turned out. So now I'm just taking some of these word stickers, trying to figure out excuse me, where I should put them on the layout, and I end up putting one of the phrases here on the Y. I thought I needed to bring some green from the right hand side of the page where it says eat, drink, and be merry to the left because it was awfully red heavy, and I just needed to get another color in here. So this is the journaling that I was showing you earlier. I typed it up on to vellum with my typewriter, or not my typewriter, I'm sorry, my computer, and I'm just trimming it to make it fit. I didn't want it overlapping the bottom part of the Y, so I was just trimming it to make it fit in there just a bit better, and I'm just going to staple this on with my tiny attacher. And for this, I'm just making sure that I have the staples in the right spot and that they're silver. I had colored some earlier and I just want to make sure I use them all up. I was going to just put 2 staples on there and not put them in the top and bottom corners, but I decided I would like that a little bit better, so I had to remove one of the staples that I put in the first, and I had to put it up at the top. So that's what I'm doing here, is just removing it, and you can barely tell. I was able to pull it out pretty easily without causing too much distress to the paper, and that's my card over there on the left. Now I'm going to start gluing down the one and the little jar, and later on I'm actually going to take some of my silver Mr. Huey's and put some spray mist on some of these cards. Now this tag had the twine, like I said. I wanted to add some staples, one to keep the twine in place, and two because I wanted to carry that staple look, if you will, across the page. This is some of the embossed circles that I made. I really wanted to use one of the silver ones. I really like the ones that have the phrases on them. They say Santa and joy and things like that. But the silver glitter ones, they were just way too hard to read. I think because of the silver, it was just very difficult to see the phrases, so the ones that have the shapes look better, but in the long run I end up taking the ones that are white because I had that white one. I wanted to mimic that, so I just end up taking some of the snowflakes that I stamped and embossed in white and put them on this card instead. And then I'm going to pull that white embossed look over to the bottom right hand photo where my daughter and her friends are for the caroling event that we went to. So that is just a banner that I had stamped and embossed as well, and it was another Allie Edwards stamp. The snowflake, I may have been at Allie Edwards, it may have been a Studio Calico, I can't quite remember. I had a couple different, or I have a couple different stamp sets that have snowflakes, so it is definitely from one of them, obviously. Now I am looking on this sheet. I really want to add another phrase. I really want to add more of the green, but I didn't think it was going to look as nice, so instead I'm going to work on the silver phrases. These are white backed with silver, and I'm going to pick one that says comfort and joy, I think that's the one I use. And I'm going to put on that bottom where it says eat, drink, and be merry. I'm going to stick it right there. And then I was taking that card and I was thinking about punching a tab or something in it, again to bring that green that's in the eat, drink, and be merry around the page, but I decided against it. I didn't really think I wanted to add any more detail. I'm again trying to keep these pages very simple. It has been difficult, but I'm trying to do my best. I want to keep it easy for me, and just again, just a different look. I didn't want to have the same thing. So for this one, I was talking about doing a flip, and I decided I thought it would be cool because this is on the or because I thought it would be cool, instead of having it in the page protector, if I just made the little picture flip, I'd have to cut my page protector. So instead of that, I am taking this piece of acetate sheet, and it's basically a transparency, and I'm going to cut it to a 3x4 square, and then I am going to adhere it at the top with some washi tape and make it a little flip pocket, and I absolutely love how it turns out. It's really, really cute. It serves the purpose of a flip pocket, but then it's an entire sheet on top that doesn't cover the bottom card, and I just think it's something a little different, so that's why I kind of wanted to do that. So I'm just going to take this silver washi tape and I am going to add that 3x4 transparency on there, and then I'm going to glue that on top of the card. So like I said, I really think that turned out great. That's a great tip if you don't want to cover the card below, but you want to put something underneath it. If you have these transparency sheets, you can do that. So I put a what is it called, the washi tape on top, and then I'm going to open it up after I glue the picture down, and I'm going to put another strip of washi tape on the inside, again just to reinforce it to make sure that it stays nice. Washi tape is pretty thin and sometimes does not stick uber good, so I wanted to make sure it was not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to add in another piece, and I had kind of a happy accident, which is very not very easy to see, but still kind of cool. When I put the washi on the other side, because I had these diagonal stripes, they end up making like a scallop, if you can kind of see there. It's kind of hard to tell, but I thought that was kind of a neat pattern and a happy accident that we got from moving the washi tape with a different direction. So it's kind of like a crisscross or a crosshatch pattern. So I want to take this silver washi tape and move it across the page. So I'm going to put a little bits on this card here. I am going to put a bit on the Y card, and then I'm going to put a bit on the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry card. And I just like the little accent that that silver gives. It's just nice sparkle. The back of the washi tape is like a clearish white color, and then it has the silver stripes. So now I'm going to take this really cute little birdie, and I am going to add it here on this banner. This little birdie reminds me of the kids in the picture because they're all bundled up to go caroling, and most of the girls have hats and stuff on. My daughter's crazy and she wasn't as dressed as some of the other kids. She doesn't mind the cold as much, I guess. But anyway, I thought this bird was perfect for this page because they're all cute and bundled up. And that number 2, I ended up taking the pin off and I put some foam on the back of it. And then that number 2 is going to go on the outside of the page protector because it was kind of bulking everything up and I didn't want to have it too much bulk in the page protector. So now I'm going to add that washi tape over here to the Eat, Drink, and Be Merry tag. Just a little accent right underneath that Comfort and Joy phrase sticker. And then I'm going to tear a piece of washi and put it at the top of the Y sticker. And then that's pretty much it. I'm just going to be kind of wrapping up here now. I'm going to show you the silver sprinkles that I put on the page. And that is day 1 and day 2. I want to thank you guys so much for joining me. If you like these videos, give me a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I will talk to you guys again very soon. Any of my social media links that you want to look up are also down in the comment section. So if you want to come over and join my Facebook page or join me on Instagram, that would be great. Those are all below. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Bye-bye.